Hey guys, it's Diane Hockman, and here's another episode of the MLM X Factor. Today I want to talk to you about how to get next to and get some time from an MLM Bigfish. If you look around the industry, you're going to notice one trend that never changes. Money stands next to money. And I've said it in some of the other videos. You've heard probably from some of the different trainers out there that if you were to sit and list your 5 best friends and the income of your 5 best friends, your income generally falls between $20,000 to $30,000 of all your friends. You may be a little bit above them, you may be a little bit below them, but the people you run around with have a lot to do with the type of income you bring in, because it has to do with the way you're thinking and so on. And I recognized early on that I needed to start hanging out with people that were multimillionaires. I needed to start hanging out with the top players, and I needed to get near them. And I noticed also right away that there was a good old boys club or good old girls club, whatever you want to call it. There were all the distributors, and remember, I grew up in a big, fancy, glamorous company, and there were hundreds and thousands, if you went to a big event, thousands and thousands and thousands of distributors, and there were these big, sparkling big fish, and they would be really nice, and they'd shake your hand, and they'd take a picture with you, and they'd sign your little journal for you and so on, and then they would all disappear up into the suite of one of them, and they'd all sit around and mastermind together and have a couple beers and hang out. And that's when the real stuff went on, and I knew I needed to get into that room. So the first thing I figured out is the very best way to get next to a big guy is to come in service. What does that mean? That means if you're in a company that has meetings and things like that, have you offered to start helping out? Have you become part of the team? Are you saying, hey, let me set up the water, let me set up the chairs, let me put up the projector screen, I know how to run the music or something like that? That's how you get with the top people in your city or in your region. Then, more and more and more, you just go to them in service. Hey, if there's anything else you need, let them see that you're a doer. They just start to want to take you and put their arm around you. They can't help it, because if there's anything a big guy loves, it's a doer and a learner. So when you differentiate yourself from everybody else, and guys, all you have to do is raise your energy 5%. It's the littlest difference between the murmuring, whining, complaining masses and the guy who says, hey, I'm game, I want to learn, what can I do, how can I help, how can I learn? The next thing you know, you're invited out to dinner after the meeting. The next thing you know, you're at a party at the big event, and you're just invited, and then everybody starts to see you running with the big boys, and they just automatically assume you're a big boy or girl. Well, when people start assuming you're a big boy or girl, you start going, well, wait a minute, they think I'm that. Maybe I am that. And when you start to walk and talk like you are one of them, you are one of them. People are attracted to you, and you start to recruit incredibly differently. So when you approach the big earner in town, the big guy, the big gal, and you start to get to know them, it's really important that, one, you're never complaining, whining, or murmuring. You're always really upbeat, matching them, and offering to help. And the last thing is always say thank you. When you're given a tip or help, it's fascinating. Yesterday I got a phone call from a guy off MySpace, asked me all these questions. I gave him some spectacular advice. He was so excited he jumped off the phone, didn't bother to send me a quick email to say thanks, I appreciate your doing that. Most people never think of that. Here's the last thing I want you to get. A lot of people are under the impression, well, he's my upline and he owes me something because he's making all this money off of me and he's rich. Guys, I'm going to break something to you. This is the hard, cold reality. Your upline that's earning 6 figures and more, guess what? They know how to do what you want to learn. And if you are under the impression that somebody owes you something, you have an entitlement mentality, the minute that comes out of your lips or just the energy comes off of you, they don't want anything to do with you. The minute you come in service and in gratitude, write that down, gratitude. When's the last time you said thank you to these people for helping you out, for talking to a prospect for you, or anything else? They don't have to do it. They're making plenty of money. Go in gratitude. Go in service. Become part of that crowd. And the next thing you know, you will be moving like a big fish, believing you're a big fish, and in the end you are a big fish. Every single one of us is. It's just a matter of bringing that part of you out and getting to the point where you know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that you are one of them.
So that's been it for the MLM X Factor today. This is Diane Hockman. You can visit some more of these videos over at the MLMXFactor.com or pick up audio training from me at dianehockmantraining.blogspot.com. And it's written right down there so you can read it in case you missed that. Okay, feel free to give me a call if I can help you in any way, and we'll talk soon. Take care.